Thank y'all very much. Listen, people are hurting out there, and there's a sense of urgency, so it's time to get to work. And so I'm going to get right to the point on some of the things we're dealing with to help improve the economy in North Carolina. The first thing I want to let you know is I love having Steve Troxler as your commissioner. The guy is he's next door to the state capitol. He's trying to steal my parking space every day. But we're so fortunate to have Mr. Troxler here, and he's become a good friend, and he's going to be a good ally, and we're working together extremely well. It's also great to have Richard Burr here, who's a great personal friend. We were kind of rude. He was giving me the latest updates on some federal legislation. I was giving him some latest update also on some state issues that I'm dealing with, and we're very good friends, and we're working extremely well together. But I'm going to get to the point because I know he has to leave in a few minutes, and I want to make sure you hear from him. But let me tell you some immediate issues that we're dealing with, and there's a sense of urgency to these issues, and there's some tough decisions that I have to make along with the legislature. And you might read one thing in the newspaper, but now let me tell you the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. And you are the ultimate business person. You are the entrepreneurs of North Carolina. I have so much respect for you. You know the markets better than anyone in Wall Street. But let me tell you some basic business facts and some decisions that we have to make in order to grow your businesses and to grow other small businesses and large businesses right now. The first thing on our plate is unemployment insurance and compensation. Yesterday, I made an announcement in Rocky Mount that I will not support the extension of unemployment beyond July of this year. And I think we need to now draw the line, because right now we have got to pay off the debt of over $2.8 billion that we owe the federal government for unemployment insurance that we've been borrowing from the federal government for 2 years. In fact, just in the past several months, we've had another $200 million worth of debt. Who pays for that debt? You do. I refuse to have us continue to live off of a credit card. We're going to pay off the credit card. We're going to change the rules and policies. The current status quo of how we've done unemployment has not put more people on the payroll of private sector jobs. It's put more people on the government payrolls of unemployment. We can no longer afford to do that in North Carolina. We are changing our policy now, and that will be one of the first bills I sign. That will have an impact on your future taxes. The second thing that we have to handle is, yesterday I joined hands with Beth Wood, the Democratic Audit Commissioner. She's doing a great job. See this Bible? I'll compliment someone when they're doing a great job. Her job is to audit the executive departments and other departments in state government. From my first day in office, I've said, audit all you want. We need to find where the breakdowns and inefficiencies are in state government as soon as possible. Well, she just came out with an audit from 2010 to 2012 on the Department of Health and Human Services and Medicaid. Instead of just handing me a report, I said, I want you to announce the audit on live TV with me standing next to you, and I want you to let the people of North Carolina know exactly how your dollars are being misused right now. And we did that yesterday. And right now there are tens of millions of dollars that are being spent on administrative costs for Medicaid as opposed to getting to the people that need it. This overhead is costing, again, you more money to do business, both with federal taxes and with state taxes. We are going to correct that. We're going to reduce the cost, therefore reduce your cost, which will help businesses in North Carolina. But we're letting the people know exactly where the fraud is occurring, where the mismanagement is occurring. We're not going to hide it anymore and sweep it under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist. But it's a major, major issue because you're talking about billions of dollars being spent at a time when government doesn't have billions of dollars to waste. We have got to introduce more efficiencies so we quit putting the burden on business people like yourself in this room. Let me also briefly talk about some long-term strategies that we think will help your industry, and we are going to be relying on your industry to help get North Carolina out of this recession. And let me just mention a couple of them. First, regulations. I have appointed a new Diener Secretary, John Scavala, and he is turning heads at Diener right now. Because one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I got from the agricultural community from the, on the campaign trail was Diener is acting as though there are adversaries as opposed to our partner. They're treating us as adversaries, not as customers. And I heard this from so many of you. We've got a new person who's running the show whose major goal is to provide you customer service and treat you as a customer in partnership to, yes, deal with environmental issues, but at the same time come up with cost-reasonable solutions to these environmental issues. And instead of just being a block to you and getting your work done, we're going to work with you for long-term viable solutions that keep you in business. We're introducing a culture of customer service in the Diener department. The third thing we're going to do is get North Carolina, in addition, we're going to help agriculture, but we're also going to get North Carolina in the energy exploration business. I firmly believe that North Carolina has been sitting on the sideline for far too long while other states have gotten to gas exploration. Now they have low unemployment rates and their economies are actually booming. We have the 5th highest unemployment rate in the country. We've got to spur that economy on, and we're taking strong initiative to try to recruit gas companies to come to North Carolina while also introducing safe, environmentally sound policies to do gas exploration both offshore and inland. We have got to rebuild the economy of North Carolina. We're not going to sit on the sidelines anymore on that issue. The other issue I want to briefly talk to you about is education. I've been reading the headlines about me on education for the past 2 days, and let me tell you what I mean and what I believe very strongly. Is right now there's a disconnect between education and commerce. And the disconnect is this, is that even though we have the 5th highest unemployment rate in the country, we have a lot of people, including some people in this audience, who are looking for people to do the jobs, do the work, but they can't find qualified people to do it. So even though we have the 5th highest unemployment rate in the country, with some counties at 14, 15, 16% unemployment, we have employers that are looking for people to fill those jobs. I've got to convince the education community and the commerce community, why don't we bring the two together and train the people, yes, both in liberal arts and other training, which I got, but also, in addition, develop policy in which we reward schools, both 2-year and 4-year schools, for graduating students in areas where they can actually get a job. And that is one of my goals, is because I want to get kids jobs now. And that includes jobs in the agricultural community. These are good jobs. They're important jobs for the economy. They're important jobs for our towns throughout North Carolina. And I want to start promoting the ag industry to be a lifelong profession like it always has been in North Carolina. And you're going to have a governor saying the ag profession, and I said it in my inauguration speech, is going to be the profession that helps get North Carolina out of this recession. And I'm going to say that about the tobacco growers. You're going to lead the way for us. So when I go on international trips, whether it be to India or China or across the world, one of the first things I'm going to mention is tobacco exports. It's not going to be just about high-tech, sexy things. We're going to talk about the exports of tobacco, which will help this state, help your business, and help our nation. I believe in business. I believe in entrepreneurship. I also believe in efficient government. It's time for us to work together, communicate with each other, and understand what our goals and needs are, and therefore we'll all have victory. And we'll all allow the next generation of farmers, including tobacco farmers, to have the same quality of life that so many of us have enjoyed during the past 50 years here in North Carolina. It's our job, it's our responsibility. This is the best state in the United States of America, and one of the reasons is because of agriculture. And we're going to continue to promote it, and we're going to continue to expand it, and that does include tobacco. God bless each one of you. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for your hard work. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.